Hello everybody, semi-retired Bob here. It's Sunday, September the 18th, I think, which makes this day 18 of the September challenge. Today we're going to talk about how never to stall again. Because, you know, stalling is one of those things that happens to everybody. Now you'll notice I did not say how to never stall on your diet. I said how to never stall. So let's stop and think about this for just a minute. What is a stall? Well, let's just start with a car. You know, if you've got your car and you're driving down the street and it stalls, it quits running, which means it quits moving forward. So that's what a stall is. You stop moving forward. You know, so many people, you know, they get on one diet or another, regardless of what it is, whether it's, you know, this carnivore diet that I'm doing, or, you know, I can't even remember all the diets over the years. Everybody remember the grapefruit diet? Oh, if you just eat grapefruit every day, you'll lose weight. And those of us that have always been heavy and are my age or older, you remember that diet. You religiously went to the grocery store and bought sacks full of grapefruits, and you stuffed yourself with grapefruit every day, and it worked for a little bit, and then it didn't. And so many diets do that. They work for a little bit, and then they don't. But the way not to stall is don't look at the scale. You know, we've talked about this a little bit before, but if you're only judging the scale for your goals, you're going to be disappointed. Because you're going to have times that the scale doesn't move. Just take a look at my videos for the last 2 weeks on this September challenge. My scale has not moved even one little bit in the last 2 weeks. But if you go back to, say, day 8 of the walking challenge and compare the guy talking to you in that video versus now, you tell me, did I move forward? Did I stall? The scale stalled, but I don't think I've been in a stall for the last 2 weeks, because I can see the difference, and I'm my own worst critic. We are always our own worst critics. But, yeah, so, and I'm not saying you have to run to the gym and try to become a musclehead, because that's not the goal. Our goal, remember, is our why. Whether it be to, you know, play with the grandkids, play with the kids, take the dog for a walk. Whatever the why is, we have to keep that why right in front of us at all times. And as long as we're moving forward, not stalled, as long as we're moving towards that goal, even if it's just 1% a day, then we'll never stall again. You know, I have to give credit. You know, Coach Bronson is one of the guys I watch a lot, because this not stalling, always moving forward, came from him. I'm just applying it to my crowd. which is people like me. Because let's face it, if you watch Coach Bronson, I don't think he's 30 yet. He might be. I don't know, but he's a ripped young man. And I'm guessing most of us, those aren't the goals, but if we take his principles about the basic body movements and work on some very simple exercises, because, you know, I tried to start doing some push-ups a couple of weeks ago and discovered that my shoulder joints just will not take doing push-ups. It's just not going to happen. But what I do, most of you have probably heard the term plank. You may or may not know what that is. And I don't get all the way down on the floor and do these because I'm still not sure if I can get back up off the floor yet. I probably could if I had to, but I use the steps in my house. I go 3 steps up with my hands, with my feet all the way down on the floor, and I get into a push-up position, a good push-up position, you know, with a flat back and everything. But I'm elevated a little bit on the steps so it doesn't put quite so much pressure on me. And then, you know, at some point, after I'm done moving forward, at that level, I'll drop down to the second step. I started on the 4th step. You can, you know, start wherever you're comfortable with. You want it to be a little bit hard, but not so hard that you hurt yourself. That's what this walking I'm doing every day is all about. You know, we're just adding 1% a day. And if you're adding 1% per day, sorry, I started to jump ahead on myself here. And when you get into the good push-up position, don't lock your elbows, unlock your elbows just a little bit. Like you're going to start a push-up, but then don't go any farther. And then just hold it for as long as you can. Some of you, that might only be 5 to 10 seconds. Some of you, it might be a whole minute. But just hold it. And then stop and rest. And one of the things he talks about is rather than doing continuous reps over and over and over and over and over, you know, because you're just not feeling it, rather than doing, let's just say we were actually doing push-ups. You know, rather than doing 15 push-ups 100 times a day, well, if those 15 push-ups don't do anything for you, you're not really getting anything out of it. So his thought is to do each rep to the point of failure, which means keep doing push-ups, or in our case, since we're not going to actually do push-ups, we're just going to hold a plank. We're just going to hold it till we just can't hold it any longer. And then we turn around and sit down on the steps. So we rest for a little bit. Get up, walk around, go sit down, watch another semi-retired Bob YouTube video. Whatever it is that you want to do to burn off 30 minutes or so, let your body rest, then go back and do it again. One more time. Hold it to the point of failure, then you're done for the day. And I think you'll find that over the course of time that you'll get better, just like this 1% walking thing I've been doing. I had to switch hands there. My right arm was getting tired. I'm back on this hill again, if you couldn't tell. Some of the other minor exercises that I do, you know, a lot of people, you know, you'll see him, Dante's big on it. He does squats every day or every other day. Dante's a great guy, but he doesn't have the joint problems I do. So again, just like with the plank, instead of trying to rip out a bunch of squats, they're going to make my knees hurt forever. I mean, if I try to do a squat, maybe I'll make a short about that. I've been trying to decide what to do for my first short. Maybe I'll hook up my shotgun mics and see if I can't pick up the sounds, the crackles, the groans, and the pops that come from my knees if I try to do a squat. I mean, it's clearly audible. So I should be able to pick that up with a shotgun mic. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'm still thinking about it. But rather than trying to crank out a bunch of squats, I just bend my knees slightly. And of course our body weight, especially now that I'm 90 pounds lighter, our body weight's not going to add much pressure to that. I grab a bucket. I got quite a few buckets in the garage. But I grab a bucket and put about a gallon of water in it. And I hold that while I do my little squat. And when that gets easy, I'll add some more water to it. One of the other things that we can do as people with compromised joints, because we all know exercising is hard. That's why this walking is the number one thing I think we can do. You've seen the results just looking at your screen, watching me do this. Walking is a big gain. And as long as you're doing a little bit of walking every day, you're never going to stall. But the other exercise we can do that will activate our core and make us overall stronger, take that same bucket of water and just hold it. Just pick it up and stand there and hold it in one hand. And because you're off, you know, your weight's off balance now because you got a little weight on one side, your core muscles will have to activate to and they'll get some exercise that way. Like I said, we're not trying to do anything that's going to kill us, because most of the people that are watching this channel are just like me. You're old. I know that's a harsh way to say it, but let's face it, folks. We are not spring chickens anymore. And that's okay. You know, they keep saying older and wiser. Well, we got some wise people in this group. But that's how to never stall, folks. Don't put all your eggs in the diet basket. Good morning. Because if all you're looking at is your scale numbers, you're going to be disappointed. So get out there and be 1% better today. I did want to cover one more thing real quick. I do appreciate all the comments on my videos. I love them. And while they don't bother me now, I know how I felt about them prior to doing this way of eating. I'm just short of the driveway here, but I'm going to go ahead, rather than go down the hill and up the hill like I did yesterday. You know, yesterday I went down there to that stop sign. Today, for my extra, I'm going to go up the hill on the cross street. And I think this hill is certainly steep enough to count as an increase. I may not make it all the way up to that stop sign today because this is the steepest hill of them all. This one sort of leads out to the main road and out of the neighborhood. But anyway, back to the comments. As many of you know, I made that video yesterday about gout, and I knew it wasn't going to do very well because even in our community, gout's a fairly rare thing. And overall, I'm looking at the stats for how often gout's searched for on YouTube. It's not very often. But I felt like I had to make that video because 99% of all the gout videos that were out there for people to find gave the same wrong, dumb information. So I had to make it. Now, the comments. I believe I'm not going to make that stop sign today. I'm going to turn around right here, show you how far away I got from the stop sign there. I'll try and get there tomorrow. But I am not talking about people that break their arm or leg. Yeah, they're going to have some pain for a while. But I'm here to tell you, you can rest assured that anybody that has dealt with chronic pain that is always there, will not go away, will never go away, or so we thought. We've tried everything. We've read everything. We've done everything we can possibly think of to do. Heck, there were some days the pain was so bad that if someone had told me to go stand in the middle of Main Street naked and eat a watermelon to get rid of my pain, I would have done it. That's how desperate those of us in chronic pain can get. So, while I appreciate all the comments, believe me, I've heard them all. Oh, you should drink some cherry juice to get rid of gout. No. Not only doesn't it work, but alcohol is the one thing that's sort of been proven to really aggravate gout. And as we talked about in several other videos, cherry juice is fructose. Fructose gets metabolized in the liver on the exact same receptors as alcohol. Fructose is basically the same as drinking alcohol without the buzz. That's all it is. So in nowhere does drinking cherry juice make any kind of sense whatsoever. But I do thank everyone for your comments. I don't believe anybody intended malice. I believe you were all genuinely had this thing that you'd heard about before, and we're trying to help, and I do appreciate that. because that's what I want to build here is a little community. We all help each other. We broke the 1,300 subscriber mark while I was sleeping last night, folks. That's amazing. If you're still around watching the video this deep, if you haven't given me a thumbs up, go ahead and give me that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. Don't forget, get out there and be 1% better today than you were yesterday. Have a great day, folks. We'll see you tomorrow.